Hi. I forgot to turn off my radio, sorry. When I'm in the sewing room, I love to listen to the radio. I listen to it all the time. But when I'm in the sewing room, you gotta have something. I wanted to show you. It is really simple to sew. And just because you don't have a sewing machine or, you know, a fancy pair of scissors doesn't mean you can't sew. And I'm being reminded of this as I am cutting this huge material. I bought 2 yards of this material, and I'm trying to cut it in this small space, and it's all hanging down on the floor. I don't like to cut material it rolled up too much. 2 pieces, okay. 4 pieces, it really doesn't come out very good. Excuse me. But I had to do it because it just wasn't working for me. This is a you know, a decent sized rotary mat, and then I have, you know, an even smaller one, but they do make them bigger, and I will get a bigger one, but you know, right now this is what I have. So I cut it in with 4 layers, and the rotary cutter does cut it. It's just a little bit more difficult, and then your material doesn't come out as straight. So I want to show you that you can still cut your material on a small mat and everything will be okay. So I cut it 4, and when I did that, I didn't cut this piece 10 inches. I cut it almost 11 inches because some on the top's going to come off. The bottom's not going to be perfectly even either. So, and then you just match up. Excuse me, I have a hair in my mouth. And you just match up with your lines. Now over here, up here is straight, but over here is not. So I'm going to take my material over a little bit, and I'm going to straighten that up. I'm going to cut my first length is going to be 10 inches. I'm going to go across, and what I have been doing is I am cutting all my 10-inch across first, and then I've come back and I've fixed up. But I'll show you right now before I cut all those others. Once I've cut them all, I straighten them up. Now I have a straight line here and I have a straight line here, but this one here and this one here is not, and I can take off some material. So I'm going to put this right here, and I measure, I'm making 10-inch squares. So I put my little rotary cutter mat on the number 1, and the lines go all the way across, so that's perfect. And then I just cut off the excess, okay, and I throw that away. If I have a decent size though, I save it. Now that's kind of small, but I might be able to make like bias tape or something with it, and that's a whole nother story, you know. So I do save that, but and I am I'm pretty frugal. I will save pretty much anything and see if I can use it. And if I can't, then I'll, you know, throw it away. But it's always hard to cut in this direction. I'm kind of lopsided that way. There. But there's my 10-inch by 10-inch square. So even though you don't have fancy equipment, you don't even need these. I mean, you can cut, you know, with a pair of scissors. It's not very difficult. I just wanted to show you that really quickly. Okay, here is a kind of a quick tip. I was talked about this in my first video of the project. When you sew your squares together or your triangles together, you end up with these little tags on there. So I'm going to show you. You just got to cut them off. I use my rotary, and I don't match them up to a line or anything. They're just small little pieces, and you just cut them off to make your good square. Okay? Simple and easy. You don't want those on your project, so you just cut them off. And I usually iron everything first, and then I cut those off, and then I sew them. And I'll show you real quick. It came out. I love it. Love it when it comes out right. anyway, just another quick tip. Well, I want to close up this video, and I wanted to show you kind of what the quilt is kind of starting to look like and what my thoughts are. I'm thinking of having the white and blue strips going down, and then the red and blue, and then so forth. White, red, and then across the, I'm calling these the tops and bottoms. Across the tops and bottoms of each square, put the blue, and then down the sides, put the red. And that's kind of what it would look like. And this is kind of the way I set things up. I don't follow patterns. You know, maybe sometimes that might be a little bit easier for me, but I can't follow patterns. I get confused. So I still need to learn how to do that. But I just set it up like that. I have not cut this material, I just folded it over. And so I want to see kind of what it looks like. I also have two other materials, and I haven't taken these out yet. This is a different video that I'll share with you later. But I might end up using some of this because that's kind of cool and it matches. So I'm not sure. That might be the strips going down. I like that look, but also if I was to not have the middles and bottoms, if you put your squares together and just sew them, not only do you have the pinwheel effect, not only do you see the pinwheel in each square, but you can also see another pattern. And I like that cross pattern where, you know, this square is different. So, and then it goes up here. So I'm not really sure exactly yet how I'm going to do this. But here's another thing, too, that I noticed. And then look, here's a pinwheel right here with these two with different materials. That's kind of cool. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. But I did notice as I was setting this up, let me take, it matters kind of how you sew your material together. With this here, I noticed that when I put this together, the cub material is matching, and it's not across. The stars aren't across from each other, and that's what I wanted. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I wondered why. Well, I figured out why. Let me show you this here. Okay, see in this set, I hope you can see both sets. In this set, the stars are crossed and the cub material are crossed. In this set, the cub material touches each other, the star material touches each other. It's the way you sew your first original square. So I need to watch how I'm sewing and which sides get sewn together in order to make this. Everything matched other than two squares. So I might use these two squares to make pillowcases. I'm really not sure yet, guys, but that's the end of this video. In the next video I show you, I will explain these here, which are really neat and handy, and I love to buy these type of batches. And these are strips, and then this here is, I think, called a fat quarter. It's called a bundle, okay? And I'll show you that in the next video. Definitely thanks for watching. Give me comments if you have any ideas on how to set up the quilt, and like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.